and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I hope you're enjoying your Sundays as well, or if it's Monday where you are right now, I hope you're having a good Monday. But anyways, today we are building this family house. I basically just wanted to sit down and chill and build something a little bit more traditional, a little bit more normal, I would say, for me at least, because this week has been about starter houses and base game houses, or just one base game house, one starter house, also a Mediterranean house. And you guys know I'm not really super comfortable building Mediterranean houses. I'm not used to it. So, and then I also built a treehouse Friday, so I just wanted to sit down and build something a little bit more normal for me, so that is what we're doing today. This is a kind of, I want to say, traditional house, I think. The interior is a little bit luxurious, it's a little bit contemporary actually. I really like how the interior looks, to be honest. I definitely tried to put more energy into the interior rather than the exterior, because I knew that this video was going to be a long one anyways, because we're building on a 40 by 30. So I was trying to focus more on the interior than the exterior today. So the exterior is pretty simple. It's not the most detailed house, as you could probably see from the thumbnail, and also the landscaping is a little bit simple as well, but I had a lot of fun with it. It was just nice to sit down and just build a house, to be honest. The facade of the building is also inspired by a picture that I saw on Pinterest. I think it was a drawing, if I'm not mistaken. It was just really beautiful, like just a nice traditional kind of family home, and I was just drawn to it. I knew that I had to build something like it, so I decided to do that. And yeah, I like how this turned out, so I hope you guys like it too. So I ended up calling this a generations home, and that is because it's got room for, I think, 7 Sims overall. So it's got room for 2 grandparents and then also 2 parents, and a teen, a kid, and also a toddler. And if you want, you can fit a bassinet into the parents' room, because their room is actually quite big. It's fairly big at least. So you have the opportunity to do that. However, I wanted them to have like a family dog, because I feel like that's just like super typical for a big family living in a big house like this. So yeah, I decided to go with the dog over the baby. Sorry about that. But I decided to call it Generations Home because they have the grandparents and then also one of their kids at least, and also their partner, and their children also live here. So we got 3 different generations living in this house. So I thought it would be cute if we kind of had this like sort of generations house. Also because I know that some of you guys don't actually like to move out grandparents once you move on to the next generation. You still have them living in the house until they pass. So this house would probably be good for those of you who play like that. I know that I personally play like that myself, for as long as the grandparents stick around at least, because I think the elders in the game definitely need some kind of update, to be honest, because they're not the most exciting Sims to play with. So anyways, just gonna leave it there. But now you got the opportunity to use one of my houses if you do play like that. So yeah, there'll be room for both grandparents, not just a grandma this time. Don't worry, I try to make sure that there was room for a grandpa as well. So yeah. Also, I have been better at including floor plans lately, but for this house, I honestly thought I'd recorded it, to be honest, but it turns out I've been clumsy and must have accidentally hit stop recording, so I only had like half of the floor plan. It didn't really make any sense, so I had to cut it out, unfortunately, and I'm sorry about that. I have been better at including floor plans because I know that a lot of you guys prefer when people include, or when speed builders include, floor plans in their videos, so it makes it a little bit easier to keep track of where you are in the house when you're building, and I suppose to also make it easier for you guys who play on consoles to build the houses along with the video. But unfortunately, I didn't have the footage. I don't know what happened. My fingers are clumsy sometimes. I just accidentally hit stop recording and it sucks. So I'm sorry about that, but it's been a while since I cut the floor plan out anyway, so hopefully you guys will what's the word? Forgive me for that. But no floor plan this time around. I did, however, include at the very end of the video, there'll be pictures of the floor plan with a grid on as well for those of you who play on console, so you can see exactly where everything is and how long the different walls are and stuff like that, so you can kind of measure according to the squares on the grid. So yeah, I did include those. I've been good at doing that lately. I know that I have. So anyways, so for the facade of the build, with the landscaping at least, I wanted to keep it very simple like I said before. I made up these little framed in areas for plants basically, so there's not plants just about everywhere. I wanted to keep the facade of the house very kind of not empty, not plain, but sort of simple and very inviting, very open. So you come or you walk past this house and then you can turn and like look at the house and see how big it is and stuff. I just wanted it to look very welcoming, so I kept it a little bit more simple this time. It's not all enclosed in, it doesn't make any sense, enclosed in plants, surrounded by plants, hidden behind plants. You guys know what I mean, hopefully. Probably not, let's be honest, but anyways. So yeah, they got these little 2 flower beds here at the front of the house that I framed up with rocks, and then I actually used the terrain tools to raise the terrain just a little bit where the flower beds are, because I thought it would look nice if that terrain was just elevated a little bit. So I've never done that before, but I thought it would look cool for a change. Try some new things. I also sized some of the flowers and the bushes up a little bit to make it look a little bit bigger, so they took up a little bit more space in the flower beds, and I really like how that looks. So it's not often that I do. Actually, lately I've been doing a lot more simple landscaping, which is very atypical for me, because I tend to go very crazy with plants, to be honest. But I've been feeling the more simple look lately. We'll probably go back to the crazier look eventually, but lately I've just been, you know, containing myself just a little bit when it comes to landscaping. Hopefully you guys are okay with that as well. I promise that we'll go back to the crazy landscaping eventually. I've just kind of been feeling a little bit more simple landscaping lately, but we will go back eventually. So anyways, as you can see, like I said before, I unfortunately did not have the footage of me doing the floor plan. So we are in the hallway right now. I do like the floor plan, how it turned out for this build. It seems realistic, it makes sense to me, and it's not often that I actually feel good about my floor plans, to be honest. But for a change, I do. So they have both a living room, a nice living room actually, where there's a fireplace. They also have another room which is sort of like a game room, playroom sort of thing. So in there they got a TV, which they don't have in the living room with the fireplace, because it's kind of like, how do you say that, a formal living room, I suppose? Does that make any sense? But they have a TV in the other smaller living room, and then they also have a toy chest in there, a drawing table, there's a console too so they can play on the TV. So I thought that would be more like a playroom kind of situation where the children could hang out and play and draw and all that stuff. If the teen has friends over, they can sit there and play on the console together or something like that. And then they also have in here, they got the kitchen area, which is what we're working on right now, obviously, and then also a living, or not a living area, but a dining area kind of as an extension to the kitchen right here. So I do end up framing the kitchen up just a little bit with 2 walls, just because I thought it would look nice if the kitchen was kind of closed off a little bit but still open, so you could walk between the living, or not, why do I keep calling it living room? Dining room and also the kitchen, so you don't have to walk through a door. It's still open but sort of closed off. This doesn't make any sense, but hopefully you guys get what I mean anyways. So this is sort of the, I want to say color scheme, but it's not really a color scheme because it's just white. But I have a thing for a dark warm brown like the flooring right now, and then combined with white. I just really like it these days, so I wanted to use that for this house. So I think it ends up looking quite classy, to be honest. I've also used marble flooring both here in the kitchen and also in all the bathrooms. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say at the start, there are 2 bathrooms on the 2nd floor in this house, and then we also got a powder room slash laundry room on the ground floor. So I've kept all the bathrooms on the second floor in this house. I thought it would just make more sense to have them up there, because sometimes while I build, I do wonder, like, why do I sometimes put bathrooms on the ground floor? Because it makes more sense to keep them on the second floor where all the bedrooms are, because most people, I suppose most people at least, shower in the morning before they go off to work or school or something like that. So it would make more sense to have them by the bedrooms rather than having the Sims have to go downstairs to get to the bathroom first, you know what I mean? So for this house, I decided to keep the bathrooms, both of the bathrooms on the second floor, and then they just have a powder room right by the front door where there's also laundry machines, just because I like to keep the laundry machines somewhere close to the front door. I don't know why, I just do. So we've done that today. I did decide to give them 2 bathrooms because I figured one would be a little bit, I mean, they are 7 Sims living in this house, so 1 bathroom, that would be quite a busy bathroom in the morning, you know? So I decided to give them 2. They don't have en-suites today, just because I don't always want to give every single bedroom their own bathroom. I'm from Denmark, and in Denmark it's not common to have en-suites. I don't know if it is where you're from, but in Denmark it's not. So sometimes it seems a little bit excessive to me to have so many bathrooms in a house. So yeah, today we just stuck to 2 bathrooms and then also a powder room slash just a toilet kind of situation with laundry rooms. I don't remember if I ended up putting laundry rooms in any of the upstairs bathrooms, but I don't think so. I did, however, try to make sure that every single bedroom did have their own hamper, so it's a little bit easier to do laundry in this house. And also, by the way, if you don't want to, I feel like I'm losing my voice right now, just ignore that. But if you don't want to play with laundry, by the way, you can just take out the laundry machines and also the hampers, and you can put in a shower instead where the laundry machines are. I did try to keep that in mind. So it's not too decorated in that room. It's a very small 2x3, and then you just take out the laundry machines and put one of those single square showers. We don't have double square showers. I don't know why I had to say that. Anyways, you just put in a shower where the laundry machines or the laundry machine and also the tumbler drying machine, whatever, where those machines are in the little powder room. So yeah, so that way you can have 3 bathrooms if you do wish that many, if you do want that many bathrooms. My English today is just going so great. I don't know what's going on. We'll fight through this voiceover. But anyways, so in here for the living room, this is kind of like the formal living room a little bit, so I wanted to keep this like a space where they could sit and talk rather than watch TV or play console or whatever. So it's very, it's a little bit bigger than the other one. And then I kept a fireplace in here, which is nicely decorated with a mirror on top. There's a lot of paintings around. I really love using those little, I don't know what those are, but those little pictures with the leaves on them, I love those. They're so clean and nice and minimalistic, so I use them quite a lot. And then I also really wanted to use that rug that's from Strangerville, because I feel like it's a little bit difficult to use. There's a lot going on it, but I used that bay window seat, whatever, that's from Cats and Dogs, and it was white and then I think gray or something, and then it had blue and orange on it, and one of the swatches of the Strangerville rug had blue and orange on it, so I figured, you know what, we're just gonna go for it. It's a little bit much, but I do like that rug, and I don't often have the opportunity to use it because I feel like it's very patterned, if that makes any sense. So there's a lot going on the rug. So, and then in here we got an office space, an office room, whatever, where I put a couple of bookcases over here. I also put a computer, so that's the family computer that they could all use if they wanted to, and then I also put down a chess table. They also have a chess table on one of the patios outside. It's kind of like a side patio situation because there's a side door where the playroom is actually, just because it made more sense to have, like, it's a big house, the more doors you have, the easier it is for your Sims to get around. Sometimes, I remember when building the Brindleton mansion a couple of weeks ago, or that was more than a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, something like that, whatever. I put 2 staircases actually inside of the house, so it was easier for Sims to get around that way. So because the house was very long, they didn't have to go from one end of the house to the other end of the house to get to the staircase. So I decided to put 2 in there, and sometimes it's just nice to have some extra doors to get outside and stuff, so it's easier for your Sims to walk around, because you all know, like, it takes a long time for a Sim to get from one end of a big house to the other end of a big house. So it's always a good thing to add a little bit more, like, make it a little bit easier for them, basically, for play purposes, or gameplay purposes. So yeah, in here we got the game room, playroom, whatever you want to call this kind of room, entertainment room. I did keep a few walls in here cleared, just because I wanted to make sure that there was room for the kid to draw on the drawing table, and then they could hang up the drawings. I thought that would be cute. Maybe they could take some pictures together and hang them on the wall as well. I think that's actually really cute. For example, if you're playing with a big family, a big Sim family, and you keep adding generation after generation, you've stuck to this family for a long time, and you've also decided to play in the same house with the different generations. It's just really cute to have this, like, wall of pictures, memories from the other generations. So I really wanted them to have the opportunity to decorate some of the walls themselves, and I kept some of the walls in the playroom a little bit more bare for that reason. So yeah, so they can both hang. I did add 2 cameras actually in that room as well, so they can both hang pictures on the walls, but they can also hang drawings from the drawing table if they should wish to do so. And yeah, in here we got the grandparents' bedroom. Again, one of the walls I did put up these portraits, but if you want, you can just take down the portraits and then you can put some pictures of your own Sims on there in case you want to, maybe the grandparents collect the memories from the with the grandchildren instead. Probably not from the grandchildren, that would be a little bit weird. Anyways, so yeah, they can take pictures with the grandchildren or their own children and hang them on that wall instead of those portraits of random strange Sims. I don't know what that's about. I do like those portraits though. I think they're very artistic, so I use them quite often. But it was kind of just, I just put them there to symbolize this is where you can put pictures of your own Sims. Hopefully I'm making sense right now. I feel like I'm just kind of not making any sense today. Hopefully you get what I mean. In here we got the parents' bedroom, and I had this little corner over here and I didn't really know what to do about it. I didn't want to just put in another 2 bookcases because I've used a lot of bookcases throughout the whole house. So I figured I would use the vanity table for a change. I don't often use the vanity table, but that's because I personally play with Cass Cece. So whenever they sit down at the vanity table and put on the Max's makeup, it just looks a little bit off. So I don't often use it myself, but I figured it would fit into this house. Like I said earlier as well, I do feel like the interior is a little bit classy, so a vanity table kind of fits that situation or suits the whole theme of the house. So we've also used a big mix of all the different packs, by the way. I did not say this at the start of the video, but I did not, restrict myself. I did not tell myself I could only use a few of the packs this time around, and I basically just gone for whatever kind of furniture I felt would fit the vibe of the rooms. So basically it's not fully contemporary, like I said before. It's kind of contemporary, but there's definitely a few traditional pieces here and there. Maybe some of them have a little bit more of a beach vibe to them even, but I feel like it all works together. Maybe that's just me, but I do think it all looks nice. It might just be the fact that I've stuck to white and haven't mixed up the colors too much that makes it work in my mind. But yeah, with the bathrooms though, I did try to use the same items. They're all from, or the same items for each of the bathrooms, and so they're basically the same bathrooms, which is also why I'm not showing you guys the other one as per usual, because the bathrooms are not my favorite thing to do, and they kind of look the same as well, so I just, I cut the other one out, but it looks a lot like the one I just showed you guys, and I've used a lot of stuff from Seasons in there, or at least the dishes, sinks, and also the toilet and the bathtubs are from Seasons. So yeah, I think I might even have used the shower from Seasons if I'm not mistaken. It's not often that I use those items, to be honest. I think these days I mainly stick to putting down counters with a sink on them for bathrooms, but I wanted to try something else, so I decided to go for a his and hers, or whatever you call that when you got two sinks in a bathroom. I don't know what you call that. I think it's called his and hers. Hers and hers, his and his, I don't know, anyways. So yeah, did try to do something new with the bathroom, but it still kind of looks like a typical me bathroom, I suppose, but hopefully that is fine. You guys know bathrooms are not my favorite rooms to decorate, so anyways. In here we got the teens bedroom. I don't know if this is for a boy or a girl. I didn't really put anything too gender specific in here, to be honest. It's for a teen that's very nerdy though. They do like space stuff or science stuff. So I put some posters from Get to Work on the wall, and I also gave them their own little audio music player, whatever you call those things. I often forget to put those in my builds, to be honest. I've talked about this before, but for whatever reason. So I love music in real life. I often just sit here and listen to music, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify, but when it comes to building, I forget to put in music players constantly. It's like that thing does not exist in my mind when I build. I don't know what that's about. It's a little bit weird. But anyways, I remembered today. I remembered to put down that music player. So the teen has their own music player, but like I said before, I don't know if it's for a boy or a girl. The same counts for the other bedrooms, to be honest. I didn't really want to keep them gender specific in any way. I just wanted you guys to have this house that's got room for 3 different generations, and then you got the opportunity to sort of customize it according to your own families. So yeah, I didn't want to make the rooms too gender specific for that reason. I desperately tried not to make them gender specific, but I don't know if I managed. So I've been told that I have a tendency to decorate my rooms, or apartments actually, just everything in a very girly way. I suppose that's because I am female, so it's kind of just in my, I don't know, anyways. But yeah, I've been told, even when I try, people still tell me, this still looks like a girl's room. But I tried. At least I try. So anyways, in here we got the child's bedroom. I do feel like this child is a little bit of an animal lover. They have some posters of, or at least like a dog lover. I put a poster of the different dog breeds behind their desk just because I love that poster. I think it's so cute. And then they also have a calendar with a dog on it as well. So I do feel like they're a bit of a dog lover, but that's completely okay too. Again, don't know if it's for a girl or a boy, and apparently I'm showing you guys the other bathroom anyways. I have taken myself by surprise. I thought I cut it out, but here you go. It looks a lot like the other bathroom, but there's a slight difference. I think the other bathroom was a little bit smaller. It had a shower slash bathtub combo, but this one has a separate shower and a separate bathtub. So it's a little bit bigger in that way. There's a little bit more going on in here. It's maybe a little bit more decorated as well, but very simple still, not a whole lot going on. Not too much going on in there, so they do look very much alike, but apparently I thought it was okay to show you guys both of them for whatever reason. So anyways, in here we got the toddler's bedroom. It's very small, it's very narrow. They have everything they should need though in here. So they actually don't think they have a dresser, but there is a kind of makeshift dresser. I end up putting that it's sort of like a hallway table that's from Laundry Day. It's got some baskets in it. I wish that one would work as the dresser, to be honest, because it has the baskets. It's so cute and I use it quite a lot, I feel like, but you'll see it in just a second. I put it right here next to the bookcase. It's this little thing. It could work as a dresser for like a baby or a toddler, because toddlers and babies don't have a lot of clothes, or if they do, at least it doesn't take up a lot of space because it's so tiny. So it could technically work for a toddler as a dresser. So it would be great if it did, but it doesn't in game, but it kind of looks like it. So they have a makeshift dresser right there. They have the bedside table. They also have a, what's it called, a dollhouse, and a big plushie and a bookcase in case they want to read some children's books or something. They also have a toy box, and they also have the Webbit tablet. So I often forget to use that item, but today I didn't. So yes, they do have that one to play on as well. So they should be able to work on their different toddler skills with all the stuff in that room. I actually forgot to put in a potty while I was filming, but don't worry. It's also not in the screenshots, but don't worry, it'll be there in the uploaded version. I talked about this in, when was it? The last time I did a toddler room. For me, I often, when building, I'll either forget to put in a bathtub for the toddler, or I'll forget to put in a potty. Today I remembered the bathtub, but I forgot the potty, so excuse me. But it'll be there in the uploaded version, don't worry about that. So I'll make sure that both of the bigger bathrooms on the second floor will have potties in them. There's also a high chair in the dining room as well, so the toddler can sit there and eat. Although personally, I prefer to just drag the food to the toddlers, just because I feel like interactions with the high chair don't always go that well. So for me at least, the toddlers often end up kind of stuck in the high chairs. So I just drag food to the toddlers instead of putting them in the high chair and then give them food that way. I don't know, let me know if you do the same, because you're smart. But it's just, maybe it's just my game, but the high chairs are often bugged that way. It's like The Sims won't actually remove the toddlers from the high chairs, so I stick to just dragging the food to them. But anyways, moving on. So we are working on the backyard now. It's very simple. There's a gazebo right here along with a pool, which is actually quite big this time. I don't know, they have a lot of space here in the backyard because the house it's not too big for a change. Often when I build on 40 by 30s, I'll make the house like huge and they'll either not have a whole lot of front yard or a whole lot of backyard. But today for this house, the house is actually not taking up way too much space for a change. So I had a lot of space at the front of the house. I also had a lot of space here at the back of the house, and that made room for a very large pool. So they got a big space, or a lot of space there to swim in and whatever. And we keep the landscaping sort of like the front of the house as well. It's a little bit smaller. There's a little bit fewer plants, I would say, but we're still using the same plants. It's kind of in the same style as at the front of the house, just to make it more coherent. And then I also put in a pirate ship for the child, and also a swing where both the child and the teen and also the adults can use it and stuff. So maybe even the grandparents, that would be kind of cute. And under the gazebo, I end up putting a grill area so they can sit there and eat and look over the pool or the rest of the backyard, not the front yard. I almost said front yard, like I said before. English is going really well today. So, and then I also ended up putting this little area over here, which is sort of like a gardening area a little bit. They got, I think I ended up not putting in the beekeeping house, yes, but I did put the flower arrangement table along with 4 different plant pots so they can plant some different stuff over there. And then I just decorated it a little bit so it looked a little bit cuter. And yeah, that's actually about it. So I am going to finish up this video now. So if you like this build, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. As always, do let me know in the comments section down below if you got any suggestions for anything you want to see here on the channel. I'll probably be doing some I don't think there'll be a video up tomorrow, but the next house that I'll be doing is a little bit different because it was a suggestion on my Discord server. And by the way, if you want to join the Discord server, there is an invitation link in the description down below. And yeah, it's a SimSeed challenge kind of thing that's gonna be coming up next, which I'm a little bit nervous about. Hopefully it'll turn out good. But if you got any other suggestions, do let me know in the comment section down below. If you've watched this far, by the way, write rosebush in the comment section down below as well. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye!
They were in high school when they met, and things got kinda awkward. With sparks in the air, he would stare at her in class, and she would try to act cool. But it was obvious, like, ooh, they would be together, ooh. One day she said, write me a love song, 'cause I know you'll make it beautiful. And maybe I'll call you my sweetheart, and promise nobody can steal me away. Then I am yours, 'cause I want you, and I wanted you to know. He looked at her and then he smiled, picked up a pen and paper, started writing. Probably something about her eyes and how they're always shining, or something cliche like ooh. Baby, I only want you. It's true. And then he said, I wrote you a love song, I tried to make it beautiful. It's a song about your sweet, sweetheart, and how nobody can steal me away. Yeah, I am yours, 'cause I want you, and I wanted you to know. As he sang, she started to dance, grabbed his arm and took his hand. He held her close under the moonlight as they kept on dancing. And now they're singing their love song, and they sing it kind of beautiful, calling each other sweetheart. I promise nobody can get in their way or steal the show. They're in love now, and I wanted you to know.